I'm back. And why do I always fix this and then always happens? Anyhow, how are you guys? This is what I got for Christmas. Well, one of them. I got two. It's called a pashmina, something like that. It's a release at the end, and you can put it like thin or just wrap it around your neck like that. This one has two colors. Isn't it cute? And today is so cold. Well, for Florida, it's cold. So, how are you? Oh my gosh, we haven't talked in a year. So, today, next year, no, the following year, no, this year. What are you talking about? See, you forget. A year went by. Anywho, I got these books. I hope you guys like them. It's called Ivy and Bean. And I bought a little box. It's got the first 3 books. I've never read any of their books before, so I hope they're good. Oh, look, my eyes look gray, don't they? Like they're this, or green, or something. They change color. New eyes, I don't wear contacts, so. Anywho, this book, it's about 2 little girls by Annie Barrows and Sophie Blackall. I hope I said that right. And it has several chapters. And the first one is called No Thanks. Ooh, look at her face. Oh, this light. Okay, here we go. Ooh, she looks like she's up to no good. Uh-oh. I hope these books are good and you like them. Let's start. Before Bean met Ivy, she didn't like her. Bean's mother was always saying that Bean should try playing with the new girl across the street. But Bean didn't want to. She's 7 years old, just like you, said her mother. She seems like such a nice girl. You could be friends. Yeah. Oh, this one has several pictures. Nice. Maybe I can lower this light. I don't know how to do the lighting. Look at that. She's standing on her head. Woo. If I do that, call 911. I already have friends, said Bean. And that was true. But Bean didn't. Oh, no, I can't see. Hang on. Bean didn't have a lot of friends. But really, she didn't really want to play with Ivy because her mother was right. Ivy did seem like such a nice girl. Even from across the street, she looked nice. But nice, Bean knew, is another word for boring. Not necessarily. I'm going to get this light right one day. I need to get one like from the back, right? I think that's what it is. And this is just like a table lamp. So, I am so sorry for the lighting. Ivy sat nicely on her front steps. Bean zipped around by her yard and yelled. Ivy had long, curly red hair, pushed back with a sparkly headband. Bean's hair was black, and it only came to her chin because it got tangled if it was any longer. When Bean put it on a headband, it fell off. Ivy wore a dress every day. Bean wore a dress when her mother made her. Ivy was always reading a big book. Bean never read big books. Reading made her jumpy. Bean was sure that Ivy never stomped in puddles. She was sure that Ivy never smashed rocks to find gold. Oh, they're very different. But that's okay. You can be different and be friends. Here we go. Right there, right there. I gotta show you a little bit to the side because now I can see this light. My husband changed the light, but the light just not enough. Anywho, let's get back to the story. I get so distracted. Maybe I have ADHD or something. She was sure that Ivy had never once in her whole life climbed a tree and fallen out. Bean got bored just looking at her. So when her mother said she should play with Ivy, Bean just shook her head. No thanks, she said. You could give it a try. You might like her, said Bean's mom. All aboard! Next train for Boring is leaving now, yelled Bean. Her mother frowned. That's not very nice, Bean. I was nice. I said no thanks, said Bean. I just don't want to, okay? Okay, her mother sighed. Have it your way. So for weeks and weeks, Bean didn't play with Ivy. One day, something happened that changed her mind. Oh, Bean hatches a plan. Look at she's cross-eyed. Look at her. Look at her eyes. Oh my goodness. Oh, it all began because Bean was playing a trick on her older sister. Bean's older sister name was Nancy. She was 11. Nancy thought Bean was a pain and a pest. Bean thought Nancy was a boogerhead. Ever since she turned 11, Nancy had been acting like she was Bean's mother. She ordered Bean around in a grown-up voice. Comb your hair. No more pretzels. Brush your teeth. Say please. Oh, jeez. Bean's mother said that Nancy was going through a stage. But Bean knew what that meant. That meant Nancy was bossy. Bean also knew that nobody likes bossy kids. So she was trying to help Nancy be done with her stage. Here's how she helped. She bugged Nancy until Nancy freaked out. Bean thought this was pretty helpful. That afternoon, Bean got a great idea. She was shopping with her mom and Nancy. Actually, Bean was being dragged along by her mom and Nancy. Bean hated shopping. Nancy loved it. Nancy was trying on skirts, lots of skirts. She put on a purple skirt. She looked at her in front of the mirror. Then she turned to the side. Then she turned around and tried to look at her behind. Looks good, said Bean. Let's go. Be patient just a little longer, Bean, said Bean's mother. I think it's cute, honey, she said to Nancy. Nancy looked in the mirror some more. Do you think the pockets are dumb? I like the pockets, said Bean's mom. Look, she's trying. This is how she's trying to help her sister by putting spiders. Oh no, she's hanging a spider over her head. She's talking on the phone, but she doesn't even notice. Uh-oh. Get it. Wait, did I skip a page? Oh no, there's thick pages. Get it, moaned Bean. She had never been so bored in her entire life. She was so bored, she fell on the floor. Then she took a tiny peek up at the lady in the dressing room next door. Yo! Get up, Bean, said her mother. This minute. Bean got up and sat on the triangle seat again. She waited. Nancy looked at herself. I kind of like it, Nancy said, but it costs $40. That's all my money. I could get 2 skirts for $40. Don't be a tightwad, said Bean. She had just learned that word. It meant someone who didn't like to spend money. Oh, you look at her. To the side. There we go. She's just leaning. Oh, she's just so bored. She's got this face. Like, get me out of here. Don't call your sister a tightwad, said Bean's mom. Bean saw Nancy's eye looking at her in the mirror. Tightwad, Bean mouthed without any sound. Nancy's eyes got narrow and so quick that their mother didn't see. She stuck out her tongue. Then Nancy turned to her mother and said, I think the skirts cost too much. Mom, I think I'd rather try on some tops. Oh my gosh, she's gonna weigh more. Bean knew that Nancy was being slow on purpose, just to drive her crazy. Bean thought about kicking her in the chin. Oh my gosh. Then she got an idea. It was a great idea. It was also a helpful idea. One that would teach Nancy not to be such a tightwad. And best of all, her idea would make Nancy freak out. You'll be sorry, Bean mouthed to Nancy. Oh my gosh. She has the angriest face. Oh my goodness. Look at that. She's sticking her tongue out in the mirror and she's got this angry face. It looks scary. Her eyebrows change. The ghost of Pancake Court. Bean was hiding inside a big round bush in front of her yard. Wait, did they just go from the store to the bush? I guess so. Okay. The bush was right next to the sidewalk, and it was very scratchy and sticky inside. But Bean needed to be in the bush for her plan to work. Oh no. Here's how Bean's plan went. She took a $20 bill out of Nancy's purse and taped a long thread to it. She put the $20 bill on the sidewalk. Oh my gosh, look at the humongous bush. You can only see her butt sticking out of the bush. Then she held on to the other end of the thread, climbing to the bush. Nancy would be coming home from school soon. She would see the money on the sidewalk. She would bend down to pick it up. Bean would quickly pull the money away, and then Nancy would freak out. Bean could hardly wait. Oh my gosh. What if she falls on top of her in the bush? Yeah. Don't do that, guys. It's just a story. Don't copy stuff. There was only one problem. Nancy didn't come. Oh no. Bean sat inside the bush for a long time. Light. I need the light. A branch poked her arm. Leaves fell down her shirt. She itched. She waited. Nothing happened. It was very quiet. Bean was hardly ever this quiet for this long because there was nothing else to do. She looked at the house across the street. Really, it wasn't across the street. It was around the street. Bean loved her street. The first reason was in its name, Pancake Court. The second reason was that it ended in a big circle right in front of Bean's house. Her dad called it a cul-de-sac. Bean called it cool. Bean started riding her bicycle at the end of the block and pedaled really, really hard. She could whisk around the circle, tilting low over the sidewalk like a motorcycle racer. They have a picture right here. Look at her. She's sticking her tongue out. Or is that her lip? Let me see. That's her lip. She's so funny. Oh, slam! Bean looked up. She saw Ivy come out of her front porch and plop down on the top step. Bean squinted at her. Ivy looked strange. She wasn't wearing a dress today. She was wearing a black bathrobe with lots of little pieces of paper stuck to it. Weird, thought Bean. She squinted some more. Instead of a big book, Ivy was carrying a stick, painted gold. Bean made a face. What a goony costume, she thought. What a dork. Oh my gosh. Ivy sat. She didn't do anything. She just sat there all by herself. That was another strange thing about Ivy. She didn't mind being alone. She never played with anyone. Bean played with everyone. Big kids, little kids, all the kids in the neighborhood played with Bean. Even crummy Matt, who was so crummy, he threw other kids' toys into the road, wanted to play with Bean. Oh my gosh. She took care of the little kids. When they fell down and got blood all over their knees, Bean would take them home and get band-aids. The big kids let her play with them because she had good ideas, like seeing how many backyards they could cross without touching the ground. Bean loved the big group of kids playing big games like pirates or hide and seek. And they have a picture of, oh my gosh, look, light. She's cross-eyed with her robe. She's got her stick and her nose. Okay. I think she's a little cray-cray. No wonder she doesn't want to play with her. Sometimes Bean wished she were an orphan. Oh my gosh. So she could live in an orphanage with 100 other kids. Of course, she didn't tell her mother and father that. Bean watched Ivy alone on the front porch. Wasn't she lonely? Now Ivy was muttering something that Bean couldn't hear, and then she began to wave the stick in the air. Bean couldn't stand it anymore. What the heck are you doing? Yelled Bean from inside her bush. Ivy looked all around. Bean forgot that Ivy couldn't see her. What's with the stick? She yelled. Ivy's eyes got big. Who's there? She said. Are you a ghost? A ghost? What a great idea. Bean made her voice scratchy and spooky. Yes, she howled. I am the ghost of Mr. Killop. I lived in your house before, and I died there too. Mr. Killop had actually moved to Ohio, but Bean thought it was more interesting to say that he had died. I've come to hunt you. Tonight when you're sleeping, I'll rub my icy fingers around your neck. Oh my gosh. Bean, what are you yelling about? Oops, it was Nancy. That's the sister. Oh my gosh. Look, they have a picture of her shadow. It looks like a ghost. Oh, Bean. Let's see what's gonna go on now. Bean meets Ivy. Oh, finally. Okay, get some water. It's a picture of the bush. She can see her feet. Ivy's feet. Bean picked out between leaves. Nancy hadn't seen the $20 bill. She was standing on it. Thought Bean. Her plan was a bust. But if she kept on being a ghost, maybe she could scare Nancy a little. I'm going to wrap my fingers around your neck too, she hauled in her spooky voice. And I'm going to spit in your ear. That's gross. No, you're not, said Nancy. She didn't sound scared. She reached into the bush and yanked Bean out. Stop yelling. That's when she saw the $20 bill. Hey, she said, where did you get the money? You don't have $20. Then she saw the string. I see what you're doing, burp face. I bet this is my money too. Then she picked up the bill and looked at it. You stole my money. I'm telling Mom. She began to pull Bean toward the front door. Uh-oh, thought Bean. None of her ideas were working out today. Now she had two choices. She could go inside with Nancy and face Mom, or she could run. So Bean fell over on the ground and started to wail, My ankle! Oh, my ankle's killing me. It's sprained. She held her ankle. Nancy frowned. You didn't sprain your ankle, you faker, she said. But she bent down to take a look. They got them these crazy faces. Look at Nancy's face. She's so mad, holding the $20 bill and yanking her Bean out of the bush. Oh my goodness. That was all Bean needed. She stood up and ran. She ran out of the yard and around Pancake Court until she found herself in front of Ivy's house. Oh, you're in trouble now, Bernice Blue, yelled Nancy. I'm going to tell Mom. Bernice was Bean's real name. Oh, I thought She was talking about somebody else. Okay. People use it only when they were yelling at her. Oh, when she was in trouble. Oh my goodness. She just had to stick her tongue out and say, nah. Just then, she had to turn around and wiggle her behind at Nancy. That's it, Nancy yelled. I'm getting Mom. She stormed in the house. For a minute, Bean felt happy. She loved making Nancy mad. But when Nancy was gone, Bean began to worry. Mom hated her when she did more than one bad thing at a time. Bean counted, taking the money, lying about her ankle. Oh my gosh. Leaving the yard without asking, wiggling her behind at Nancy. 4 things. 5 if you count pretending to be a ghost. Bean was going to be in big trouble. How big? No dessert for sure. No videos for a week maybe. But it could be even worse. Oh my goodness. They got a picture of her wiggling her behind. And then, where can I put this light? I don't know. There. Maybe there? Just thinking about all the stuff she did. Don't know. I moved stuff around in my desk, so then now I don't know where to put this light so it would work for me. So let me give it a go here. Maybe there. Now I look like a ghost. I'm looking like a ghost. Ooh, 21 minutes already. Her mom might send her to her room for the rest of the day. Bean hated that. Hide! Bean looked up. She had forgotten all about Ivy. Ivy was still on the porch. She had been watching the whole time. She knew that the ghost of Mr. Killop was really being inside the bush. Bean expected her to be mad, but she didn't look mad. She looked excited. Okay, I don't want to look like a ghost. Hi, she said again. Thought Bean. Maybe boring Ivy was right. If her mom couldn't find her, she couldn't send her to her room. If she stayed out until dark, her parents would stop being mad and start being worried. Her mom might say, oh, my poor little Bean, my poor little baby. Then they'll be happy to see her when she came limping home, that they probably wouldn't punish her at all. They might even let her have seconds on this earth. That settles it. Oh, okay, she said to Ivy. Where? Follow me. Ivy came down the stairs and slipped behind a bush growing against her house. Bean followed her and crouched down under the wide leaves. Oh my gosh, she's gonna get even in more trouble. Because she's so skinny. She's looking. She's got her robe and her stick. She's gonna get her in more trouble. Oh my goodness. No, get up. This is just the beginning, said Ivy. I'm going to take you to a secret spot. This isn't it, asked Bean. The bush looked pretty good to her. No, this is the passageway. Ivy pressed her back against the house and edged along. Being edged along too, the wall scraping her back. They turned a corner and edged some more. Ivy's house was big. Halt, said Ivy. Bean halted. Now, said Ivy, close your eyes and I'll take you to the secret spot. What? How come I have to close my eyes? Because it's a secret. Oh my gosh. Duh. Bean couldn't argue with that. Ivy looked like a wimp, but she didn't talk like one. Bean closed her eyes. She felt Ivy take her by the elbow, and together they went down some steps. A door opened. More steps. Cool, damp air blew in Bean's face. Then they went up some steps. Look at there. sliding on the wall first. There's a picture right there. This is scary. Where is she taking her? Oh my gosh. Another door open. They were outside again. Ivy was taking Bean through the tall grass. Shh, said Ivy suddenly. Bean froze. Crouch down, said Ivy. Bean crouched. There was a silence. Okay, you can get up now. What happened? Asked Bean. Spies, said Ivy. Bean figured Ivy was probably making that up. Now you can open your eyes, Ivy said. Oh, jeez. There's a picture. There's a cat now, and butterflies, and a snail. And they're like in tall grass. Somebody needs to mow their lawn. Her house. Ivy hatches a plan. Again? She's always hatching plans. Look. Oh, that's a big yard. Trees and bushes and a big rock. Bean opened her eyes. They were in a corner of Ivy's backyard. There was a big rock on one side and a small tree on the other. Between them was a perfectly round puddle. This is the secret spot? Asked Bean. She had expected something more secret looking, like a cave. Yes, they'll never find you here, said Ivy. You can stay for as long as you want. I'll bring you food. Oh no! It sounds like you're being kidnapped. But I only need to stay until dinner time, Bean said. Ivy looked disappointed. I thought you wanted to run away. I do, but only until dinner. Oh, Bean felt bad about not staying. Wouldn't you get in trouble if your parents found out I was living here? She asked. They don't come out here much, Ivy said. My mom is afraid of ticks. Oh, jeez. You probably don't ever get in trouble anyway, said Bean, feeling gloom. I'm always in trouble. I do too get in trouble, said Ivy. No, you don't, Bean said. You read books all the time. You can't get in trouble for reading books. Ivy said, I will get in trouble. Really huge trouble if I do what I want to do. What I plan to do. Bean waited. Well, what do you plan to do? Ivy looked all around before she whispered. Spells. Magic. Potions. Really? You mean like a witch? Yes. Well, not yet, but I'm going to be a witch, said Ivy. Her eyes were glowing. I'm learning how. Bean looked at Ivy's black bathrobe. Okay. She wants to be a witch. No, I didn't know that. There they are. They're looking at each other from the side. It was kind of dirty now, and some of the little pieces of paper had fallen off. Bean saw that the papers were cut into stars and moon shapes. Bean also saw that Ivy didn't know how to draw stars. Some of them had 4 points and only had 3. The moons didn't look so good either. Is that a witch robe? She asked. Yeah, said Ivy. It's nice, said Being polite. It didn't look like a witch's robe. It looked goofy. I didn't know you could learn to be a witch. I thought you just had to be one. That's what most people think, said Ivy. But I'm learning. I probably know more than most born witches my age. I just learned the spell that makes you invisible. Wow, Bean could use that for sure. Will you teach me? That would be great. And she's got a recipe for invisibility spell. I haven't done it yet, Ivy admitted. You've got to have a dead frog. Oh, I would be really mean to kill a frog. Yeah, that's why I dug this pond. Ivy pointed to the puddle with her gold stick. I'm hoping a frog will come here and die. Oh my gosh. Not what I expected. Bean didn't mention that it looked like a puddle. Wow, she said. What's the stick for? That's my wand, said Ivy. Oh, yeah. Look at the recipe. It doesn't, you can't even read the ingredients, but it has a frog at the end. Okay. Bean couldn't help it. She burst out laughing. That's not a wand. That's just a stick painted gold. It is to a wand. Now Ivy looked mad. And you better watch out or I'll use it on you. Bean stopped laughing. Use it how? I'll cast the dancing spell on you. You won't be able to stop dancing for the rest of your life. Like this. She started jumping up and down, kicking up her legs, and waggling her arms. Could you really? Asked Bean. Ivy stopped dancing. Maybe I was just going to test it when you started yelling about being a ghost. Who were you going to test it on? Asked Bean. Look at she's Ivy's dancing around, looking up. Look, she looks so goofy. Her tongue sticking out. Oh, jeez. Ivy's face turned red. Nobody, she said. Bean could tell she was lying. Come on, who? Ivy's face got redder. Come on, tell me, said Bean. Ivy looked at the dirt. You, she said in a low voice. Me? Yelled Bean. What did I ever do to you? I'm sorry, said Ivy. She did look sorry. That's okay, said Bean. There was a pause. My mother keeps on saying, what a nice girl you are. Well, that failed. She's always telling me I should play with you. It's driving me nuts. Bean couldn't believe it. That's what my mother says about you. That's so funny. You're not nice at all. You're a witch. Ivy giggled. You're not very nice either. You were going to do that ghost thing in the bush. Bean was embarrassed. The part about the icy fingers was good, said Ivy. What were you doing in there anyway? Oh my gosh. Now they're talking, looking at each other. I think they're going to be best friends. Crazy friends. Water. Sasha, this way. This way, Mama. The bed is... Oh. Maggie's sitting on the bed. There's not another bed, Mommy. Sit on the rug with Mommy. Sit right there. Aww. She can't see very well. Bean sat down on the rug. I was waiting for Nancy. Oh my gosh, 33 minutes. Let me finish this. Oh, this page. Okay. That's my sister. She was a total pain in the kazoo. I put $20 on a string, and I was going to put it on her hand when she reached down to pick it up. Ivy nodded. Is that why she got mad at you? No, she got mad at me because it was her $20. Bean felt gloom again. Ivy saw that Bean was worried. Are you going to be in trouble? Yeah, probably. I'm not supposed to mess with her money. Bean thought, You don't have a going back in time spell, do you? No, those are hard, said Ivy. She looked at her pawn. I wish I had a dead frog. That would be good, said Bean. But wait a second, what about the dancing spell? Could you put that on Nancy? So she'll dance for the rest of her life? How's that gonna get you out of trouble? Ivy asked. It's not, said Bean, but it would be really funny. Oh my gosh, I guess she's imagining her sister dancing for the rest of her life. Okay, we're going to stop here because it's almost 35 minutes. So, on the next one, we'll read. It says, Beware. It's a long book, so it might take maybe a couple or 3 videos. Okay, so let's stay tuned, see what happens with Ivy and Bean. And in the meantime, you be good. If you're going back to school, then I hope you have a good back to school day. And today it is Three Kings Day Eve. Tomorrow is Three Kings Day. We'll celebrate it. Yeah. So tonight, if you were going to celebrate it, you go outside. You take the fresh grass that you can find. The best green grass. And you put it on like a shoebox for the camels to eat. And then you might put a little water if you want to. And in the morning, you should get one present. Just one. That's how we celebrated it in Puerto Rico. And it was a special present. If you didn't get something that you wanted for Christmas, maybe the Three Kings will bring it to you. That's how we celebrate it. It's so fun. So if you want to celebrate it, give it a go. All right. I'll see you later on the next video. Bye.